Random inventors from the 800s are rarely the focus of many people's history knowledge. Yes, no, definitely not for me. All right, let me get back to it. Hope I'm doing well. I'm all right. Pretty good. Can't complain. All right. There is a ridiculously large amount of blood right here. These guys to be dumped. Just because there was a rock there, which we ate, which gave us like 1,000 meat. And that's also why there's so much blood there, is because it was a rock. It's now dead. Well, since this whole thing is actually like set up and kind of good to go, we're going to jump back up here and go back to working on this. And we can do that, and then this over here. And then we'll need to build stairs up. Ah, that sounds tasty. Work was on sale. Comrade Bazotomy. You know, I don't like doing this, but if you just want me to ban you, you can leave. That's your call. You can die on this hill. You don't have to, but you can. You ever heard of a thing called fucking context? Christ. What's wrong with people? You literally mock a thing that is directly pointed at me. Me. Right here. Hi. Right in front of you. Dig your hole, you dig it deeper, and then you continue to then dig it deeper. I'm fucking flabbergasted. Christ, what is wrong with you? You are an example of the worst part of games as a whole. Thank you for showing your true colors. Saving us all a lot of time. Gosh. Yeah, it's not worth it, Stone. All right. You directly insult somebody and then you blame the game's community for that. Cool. All right. What am I doing here? Miss something? That's all I have to say. It just shakes my head. Sad is what you missed. That's about it. All right. Run around the edge with the walls. The sad part is it's like the only thing that you actually missed is someone who's too entitled, I think, probably the word I'd use, to say, oops, I said it bad. All right, I won't say it again. It's literally it. Someone who doesn't understand the concept of something called context. But, whatever. Not worth the oxygen. Chat, I have a question. Should I just ban this person, or do you guys want to just type in a round of beers so that I can just, like, not stare at what he's saying anymore? Do me a big-ass favor. Ay. Yeah, tried to defuse. Not much I can do. But, yeah, in regards to Odd Realm, the thing to remember with Odd Realm is just plant food right away. And also, you got to remember in Odd Realm, they don't automatically replant food for you, so you have to do that manually. So plant food right away, and then when you see them harvesting, replant it. And just remember to replant it. If there is a way to automatically replant food in Odd Realm, I haven't figured out how. So that's the one thing that I would recommend mind, is just make sure that you plant food, and then when you're done planting food, replant food. Yeah. It's a very sneaky rat. It can keep it, frankly. Rat is hungry, seems. All right. Gotta get out of this rut that I'm in now. You go there. No problem, mind. That game's super good. It's just the initial learning curve of Odd Realm is very similar to Dwarf Fortress, just because it's all about just learning its silly UI. It's 10 pounds exactly. Hell yeah! High score. I don't know if that's the weight being high. I don't know if that's the heaviest baby you've had, but I don't even know if that's heavy for a baby. I know nothing about children, but congratulations. It's easy to forget stuff when you haven't touched it in a couple of months. Like I said, don't worry about anything that you've forgotten, because like there is like almost nothing in common with the game outside of like the way that characters walk around. Like all of the UI, it's an entirely new UI. The UI has been rebuilt from the ground up. Like it's a new game basically. I mean, obviously like some mechanics are still similar, but it big, but not super scary big? Okay. I have no idea about the sizes of children. But congratulations. I feel like I said this like a year ago for number 7, but cheers, man. Baby dimensions are a mystery to you? Yep, same. It's almost as much of a mystery as like dwarfs and sized cubed. It's like I realize that centimeter cubed is like a legitimate measurement structure that people are supposed to comprehend, but I might as well be imaginary as far as I'm concerned. You just know that flat dwarf eventually become not flat dwarf. Yes. This is fact. This is indeed fact. I'll be honest, it is taking like all of my self-control to not just explode and rant for 20 minutes. This is... Sometimes. And it wouldn't even feel good. Like, sometimes ranting is like, okay, this is a rant that I will enjoy. It's like, that is not a rant I will enjoy. There's a lot of crying. Are the other kids able to help at the very least at this point? Like, I think at this point, you'd at the very least have, like, extra helpers, right? It's not a stupid game or bug. It's person being mean in chat and then tripling down. And then accusing me of being worse, which is not true. I didn't insult anybody directly. Partook in a game mechanic. They just made a statement that was tasteless and rude. Directly pointed at my expense. I did my best to not escalate and de-escalate. And they tripled down, and now they're gone. Like, a were-skink? I don't believe I've ever seen one of those before. Id! Airy Bimshos. Where are you? I don't see you. Where are you? Please tell me it's not already in my fortress. Don't see it. A large skink twisted into humanoid form. It is crazed for blood and flesh, and its eyes glow spring green. Its black scales are round and close set. You will know why you fear the night. Okay, but like, actually, where is it? Elkbird, Mesbuth. Okay, hold up. Oh, it's literally like right next to my military. Well, that's cool. What is a skink? A skink? You don't know what a skink is? A friend of mine had a pet skink. It's a lizard. Most famously, the blue-tongued skink. But could be any number of skink-like things. I don't even know. I've never seen that before. Crocodile skink? This is probably the most common skink that most people think of when they think of a skink. That's a skink. They're kind of like they burrow in the sand. They're a neat lizard. Quite like skinks, actually. Pretty fucking cool little lizards. All right. How do we deal with this? I could just tell my military to kill it. But that's kind of a lot of risks. Fuck it. Okay, so the militia commander strikes the were-skink in the right upper arm with his copper shield. Move 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks forward. Still clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He missed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. He missed and fell over. Prob will likely kill it, yeah. But, like, there's always the risk. There's also some dwarves in this squad that are not super well trained. Silver battle axe has been lodged firmly in the wound after the axe dwarf hacks the were-skink in the upper leg. The silver battle axe tearing apart the muscle. Seems to have missed and missed. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Miss, miss, miss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think they got it. Yes, they got it. All right, that wasn't so bad. Could have been bad, but wasn't so bad. Tried to translate to see if there is a Swedish name of it, and there isn't. They're actually a pretty common pet around here. Skinks, that be. Not a super common pet, but like you can buy them at the pet store here, especially blue tongue skinks specifically. They're about as common as like a They're about as common as a like a bearded dragon or a gecko as a pet. Well, maybe about the same as a bearded dragon. Or are you still fighting? Oh, because he fell over. Yes, but that's because you live in a magical fairy tale land where all the animals are cool and want to kill you, Ander. So, naturally, of course you have them in your backyard. Sheesh. Your cat tries to catch them? I feel like that's a bit big for a cat. But then, I don't know. My cat growing up used to catch rabbits, so... I know that bearded dragons are pretty docile. How docile are skinks? If I can ask. Like, just in the wild. Skinks? Axon? Yeah, skinks are great. I too like skinks. Big fan of skinks. I need to take you off of fishing, which is a skill I don't need you doing. No, I'm referring specifically to like larger blue-tongued skinks, but skinks are feral as fuck, very food motivated, and don't really have any means to cause anyone harm. This is true. They are very food motivated. They run then hide. Fair, sounds like I understand why cats would chase them. There was a wildlife sanctuary close to where I grew up that I would go to sometimes that had a big herp section for various reptiles and such. We always had a whole bunch of blue-tongued skinks that people couldn't take care of, and they lived in kind of like a pretty natural-ish indoor habitat. You'd walk in and like, they'd just kind of hang out and stare at you, and then you'd walk close to them and just like run into the cover. Unlike the bearded dragons they had there where you'd walk up and they just like sit there and you just pick them up and walk away with them. Bearded dragons are like they're like the stoners of the animal kingdom. They just do not give a shit. Bearded dragons' favorite activity is watching things, so they love car rides and sitting in the sun. I mean, bearded dragons also like are some of the dumbest animals I've ever seen. I got to take care of a bearded dragon for a bit, long time ago, and one of the things this fucking thing did was you'd like put it on the sofa and in the sun, and it would sit there in the sun for a couple minutes, and then we get bored and it would just walk forwards and fall forwards off of the sofa and then land like nose down and go boing, bounce off the ground, land on its feet, and then just keep running. They're very funny animals. They are very funny animals. I like bearded dragons. They are good boys. What are you linking? Is that a Red-eared slider? In the thumbnail? Looks like it. I used to have a pet one of those. Ooh, we got a mood. At tour, the Mason was taken by a Fey mood. I'll give you a follow. See where you head off to. I mean, you could also just go to the... the thing is, if Hobo sent you an iguana, it wouldn't be a live one. Yeah, but here's the thing about turtles. Turtles have shell. If you came with built-in battle armor, would you also jump off of things head first? Like... Come on. I'd take more risks if I had built-in battle armor. I'd probably just, like, jump off the 3rd floor of a building if I had turtle level of battle armor. Like, fucking why not? Boing. Alright, let's go. You'd be doing a lot of things naturally. Claims of Mason's Workshop. Please make me a door. 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 Elevators are too slow. No, I completely concur with that. Although if it's a big enough building, then you don't need battle armor. You just need a parachute, actually. Actually, hold on a second. That black... I have a tame black bear? When the fuck did I get a tame black bear? Huh. Alright, well... It's now going to be a tame lookout black bear. Alright, well that's where we're going to put the downstairs. You had a pet turtle and you still have his last sets of goats he shed? Aw. Name was Slugger? How long did you have Slugger? We, I almost said used. We got a pet turtle that was 15 when we got her. And the name that she had was Freddy when we got her. But then shortly after we got her, she started laying eggs. So, which the owner was quite surprised, the old owner was quite surprised to hear, actually. So Freddy started laying eggs. So we changed her name to Frida at that point. Or rather, I think my sisters changed her name to Frida. And she was a red-eared slider. And we had her for about 15 years. She died, like, I think it was a year after I moved out. Or, like, right as I was moving out. She was a good turtle. We used to put her outside in this plastic above-ground pond thing that we had. It was supposed to be buried, but we never buried it. We just left it raised outside. And then we take, like, moldy wood from the forest in my backyard that was, like, full of bugs and stuff and just, like, put it in there, and she'd just sit there and, like, eat all the bugs off of it. She was a good turtle. She smelled real bad, though. Turtles stink. Jeez, man. Alright, so there's a giant rat in the temple. I think we should kill that. What? Does that not have access to that? Literally 1Z level up. Downstairs. Alright. It's weird that it doesn't let me do that. Normally it does, but wait until the other ones are done. That's fine. Asphalt nuggets? I mean, I saw a video on Reddit the other day of hamster waking up in the morning. It's kind of an excited hamster that morning. It did what you do when you're excited, and then it ate it. So, I don't trust hamsters. Wombats poop square, excuse me? Although, I will say that there are some elements of hamsters that I do very much enjoy. One of which being that they can consume more alcohol than any other known mammal. Or creature, rather. Not mammal. Animal. That's the word I was looking for. Self-contained ecosystem. I hate it. Excellent. I hate it so much. I'm gonna put my tame bear up here and we're gonna use it as a watch bear. Gonna keep watch. Oh, that towards begun a mysterious construction. What'd you grab? Willow logs, rock leather. Stray puppy bone, elk bird bone, smoky quartzite, conglomerate, and granite blocks. It's a mason shop. Any bets on what that dwarf makes, chat? Although the granite blocks might actually not be part of it. The granite blocks might be claimed for a job because they're getting used in this construction. I'm not totally sure. It doesn't matter if it's perched on top of a wall, which is where it's going to be. Statue? God, I hope so. Statue with a lot of good history. I have a question. Why are we talking about hamster poop? Or hedgehog poop, sorry. Not hamster poop. This is not a subject I thought I would discuss today, I'll be honest with you. It's kind of a new one to me. Try to kill everyone? I'm pretty sure they're working on it. They're just not evolving as quickly as they intended. I'm quite certain that the only thing eviler than cats on Earth that people keep as pets are hamsters. And hedgehogs. Oh, the point was that it smelled. I understand. Okay. I mean, I would be concerned if poop didn't smell. Doesn't matter the animal, but... We'll give this bear some fortifications, though. But yeah, out of all of the pets that I had growing up, I think the turtle probably smelled the worst. And I had fish, I had a chameleon, several snakes, dog, cat, briefly took care of a bearded dragon. Turtle smelled the worst. Although the reason I would never have a turtle again, as much as I like the turtle, I do miss the turtle. She was a good pet, but I probably wouldn't ever own a turtle again. Is just how humid the room that she... like, occupied ended up getting. For, like, you know, pretty obvious reasons, I would think. I mean, lots of water on the ground. Or not on the ground, in the aquarium that she lived in, right? So it's pretty obvious as to why it would be super humid in there, but my word, it was humid. It's like the tank was huge. It was a massive tank that she lived in. It was like practically one of the biggest like fish tanks we could reasonably purchase. Yeah, my home is one room. Well, actually, my landlord has a very strict policy. She's pretty, like, cool about pets. If I wanted them, which I don't. But the one, like, it's actually in my lease. It's like, pets are permitted with a deposit. No fish or anything aquatic is, like, a strict, no questions asked rule. No fish or anything aquatic, which I have to wonder. It's like, all right, what happened in the past in one of the buildings that you rent out or one of the apartments that you rent out that somebody had something that was aquatic that made you put that down as just a blanket rule for everything that you lease? It's just like, I wonder.
This is madness! Madness. This is Stone Hobo. This is Hobo. This is Hobo.
Yeet. Welcome back, Hobo. How's Jim? You missed me doing my damnedest to keep my cool and not ban somebody. And I didn't. I'm proud of me. Can you bench press me yet, Hobo? You've been gymming for a while. You've probably built up quite a bit of muscle. Oh, also, Anandar wants you to ship him a preferably living iguana. Can you do that? How much I weigh? 138 pounds as of last night, which is actually down. I was 141, which I was very happy about, and I'm down. Should probably only weigh myself after meals. It was the person with the username Comrade at the start. Axon. I'm gonna DM you, Hold on, I'm gonna DM you his username, and if you type in /user and then the username, you can look at the chat logs if you want to see what he said. Etor, the Mason, has created Dura Lanul Adothol, a conglomerate throne. Not what I wanted, and claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor Adil Daggerboard. Board of the Dagger? Welcome back, Irish Stupid. Have you listened to that record, by the way? The Sergeant Thunderhoof? Good to know, Hobo. Swedish deep state news just got out of that Swedish company is that Atlas Copco is out as SKF and is part of the Russian, made parts for the Russian nuclear weapons and exported them to Russia. Things like this comes out every day. It's amazing. Well, I mean, my favorite, I prefer to stick to news like, Activision Blizzard are bad people and not just like, this is going to kill us all. But, you know, we all have our favorite news to follow. Thank you for the update, by the way, on the Swedish deep state news. So this is a Honored Dank, the Sunny Deep. That's what I'm going to name my my lazy boy when I retire. Honored Dank, the Sunny Deep. I put a sun on it. You listen to it a couple hours. God, that record's just so goddamn good. So God damn. Good. This is a conglomerate throne. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. I kept my cool. I'm proud of myself. I didn't call him a cunt, but I kept my cool. Anyway, this is of the highest quality. He is encrusted with rectangular quartz-like cabochons and encircled with bands of willow. This object is adorned with hanging rings of smoky quartz and menaces with spikes of conglomerate. On the item is an image of spikes of conglomerate and elk bone and rock leather. On the item is an image of the lovely fist, the adamantine figurine of Onal Empires named in quartzite. On the item is an image of Themni Dunestreams, the horror mate. What the fuck? The horror mate of the night. Themni Dunestreams, the horror mate of the night. And Stuzir Glacier Girders, the dwarf in dog bone. Stuzir Glacier Girders is striking down Thimwi Dune Screams, and the artwork relates to the killing of the horror mate of the night, Thimli Dune Screams, by the dwarf Sizir Glacial Girders in the submerged hills in 148. Jess, thanks for the raid. How was finishing Cuphead? I think that's what you were doing today. It said that you were playing Cuphead, so either you're stuck on the final boss or you beat it. You beat it? I have a question. What's the hour count? But you did it. Congrats. Hell yeah. Chat, can I get a round of beers for that and all the raiders? Hello, Tongle, and Andy Star Phoenix, and Hapako, and of course, Alistair, and everybody else from Jess. Hello. Could never get past like the 5th level. I've never played it, so I haven't even like beaten the tutorial yet, which means that one game journalist that couldn't beat the tutorial is probably better at the game than me. Probably. I could probably beat the tutorial. 13 streams. Of what, like 4 hours apiece? That's not too bad. So what's your next Nightmare Challenge game? Because you got to have something next. My vote's Super Meat Boy, because that soundtrack slaps. I'm just saying. I may or may not have a copy of that soundtrack in the mail soon, which I'm very psyched about. She didn't 100% it? Well. I mean, now you just got something for the future, right, Alistair? We're playing Dwarfs. It's the same stuffs. If you've seen my streams before, you've probably seen Dwarfs before. We built a temple today, and I'm building a large cave-in thing, so I'm hoping I'm going to get a bunch of goblins so that I can drop a floor on them. Literally. Chat wants to keep the challenge thing up? I mean, if chat wants to throw money at you to play hard games, do it. I mean, like, come on. Not to quote a Sith Lord or anything, but do it. It's pretty seems like the logical thing. I mean, my vote would be one of two things. If I had to pick hard game for you to play through, it would either be Super Meat Boy or Dark Souls. Just saying. I watch the hell out of some Dark Souls. They provide you with all the sound effects. True, they provide you content for later. Huh. Oh, I'm sure you'll find something fun. But thank you very much for the raid. To anybody coming over from Jess's stream, my name's Blind. I stream way too much Dwarf Fortress and other things. We also stream way too long. We're about 7 hours into the stream, meaning we're about halfway done. Maybe a little over halfway done, but slightly over halfway done. I've been playing Dwarfs for most of the stream today, but play something else this evening. I don't know what we'll do this evening, but we'll do something this evening that isn't this. So eventually it'll turn into something equally obtuse and weird, but not Dwarf Fortress. And beat Dark Crypt? I feel like I've heard of this Dark Crypt thing. I also put that throne, for anybody who's wondering, in the temple. I figured that temple deserves it, frankly. Basically, I have the Beholder clone in playstyle, but hard as nails. Doesn't sound very pleasant. You know, like, the good kind of games for like, challenge streams like that are games that are really tough but fair. And also fun to watch. That's why I'd say, like, something like Super Meat Boy would be great. Also, Super Meat Boy's cheap. Oh, I see Hobo also added Kravicus. I sent him a DM earlier. But I'm not the only one going like, eh. Bit intense. But yeah, we have this huge chunk of floor with this line around it. The line around it is open space, and we have a lever that we can pull that'll drop it down here. So hopefully the next army that attacks us walks through this area and then just gets this dropped on them. VVVVVV is mind-bending. I always forget that that game exists. But VVVVVV is good. Just not Super Meat Boy Forever. Super Meat Boy Forever is not very good. VVVVVV is very good, though. Just gonna kind of work my way around the edge of this with Stonefall traps. They're the weakest traps, but... Makers of Dark Crypt later made Hexen for id Software. That's why I've heard of Dark Crypt. Okay, I thought that that sounded familiar. I thought that that sounded real familiar. Hey, my favorite podcasters just put out their podcast. No, because then you need to deal with the idiots you have in your cages later, which I really don't like to do. The thing that Stonefall traps are good for is they're good for making things dodge off of cliffs. In this instance, I'm not really expecting anything to trip up the Stonefall traps, but what I am hoping for is if they happen to be at the edge of the map when the ceiling falls, they'll fall into the Stonefall traps. I could put cage traps everywhere, but like it's kind of a waste. Because then I'll have to, like, rip them out of the cage traps later or, like, crush them or something, which is tedious. I'm not a huge fan of that. Unless you're, like, specifically trying to catch things to, like, put them in an arena or something. Like, there's really no reason to use cages. Or into lava, you know, all that fun stuff. But yeah, Hobo, in regards to that thing that I DM'd you the username for, I haven't banned him, but I think I'm going to put a note on his account. Just be like, keep an eye on this person. I don't know if he'll ever pop in again, but... But yeah, I personally find cage traps to be a bit more tedious than they end up being worth. We're planting eggplants, by the way. Lava sacrifices? Yeah, but I have to get lava to do that. I have to dig down a lot more than I have so far in this fort, which, That's all I have to say to that is, So yeah, I don't think that either of them are bad. I always want to call you Star Lord. I'm sorry, Star Legend. I don't think either of them are bad in particular. I just think that they have different uses. Pardon? Stone? Let's call you Star. Sure, but like I have a tendency of running them together. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I feel bad calling people Star-Lord because it's like the equivalent to just being like, "Hey, asshole." All right, jumping up here. Work around my bear. It's egg. Britons have a word for eggplant? Huh. Interesting. Yes, we are growing eggplants. Has anybody ever made a Dwarf Fortress tile set that's entirely emoji? It's French-ish? Are you telling me that Great Britain actually does something that's inspired by France? That seems very out of character. But I believe it. What, the tile set of entirely emoji? I mean, I was kind of asking because I was thinking like that would be a good one to use as part of my birthday charity fundraiser with the terrible tile sets. Because we need to start thinking about those like now, because my birthday's in June. But like, you know, if you want me to like forget about it and be distracted, you could throw lots of money at me, which would make loud noises. Or you could just like start spamming sound commands, which would also make loud noises, which is like the equivalent. Chat, should I just add a beep sound command to the sub sounds? Just like a sensor beep, just like a beep. I think I should do that, shouldn't I? Not the only one. Fair. I mean, there's a few French words that have been...
It's a Unix system. I know this.
Good thing I don't. There's a few French words that have, like, largely been, like, stolen by the rest of, like, English-speaking and other language-speaking worlds. Same with German. Like, my favorite one, Schadenfreude. Absolutely. Well, let me tell you this then, in that case. Somebody go grab me a .mp3 file of a good censor beep. And then you guys can censor me. Loud noises? Yeah. I'm suddenly distracted. There you go. Sorry, what was I talking about? Right, yes. Tile sets of emojis. Hey, amateur, what up? How is thing? You should see this defensive thing that I'm building. It is one of the dumbest things I've ever built in Dwarf Fortress. I've literally rigged an entire cave to cave in, and we haven't had a siege all day today. I'm kind of sad. Sitting here waiting for a siege so that I can rig it to cave in. Actually, speaking of the French language, there's actually like an interesting article that I read sometime last year about how the French language is dying. And the argument basically was they refuse to expand their alphabet and they refuse to expand their dictionary. And we are in an era of a lot of new words being added to dictionaries. Just as an example, things that are used in memes, internet terminology, things like terms that are used as part of like referring to various parts of the tech industry, and lots of other words that they are refusing to add words for. So because they're refusing to expand their dictionary, their language is becoming less usable and less relevant in the modern world, which is kind of sad, actually. I've been doing that. Somebody listen to this first. That'll do. That's not too ear blasty, is it, chat? Also, what should the sound command for that be? Axon, you sent it to me. What should I call the sound command? This is for you. Hey, IB what up? A bleep? Bleep or beep? I think beep might be easier to remember. I'll also make bleep work. Beep. Alias. Bleep. That. Done. Pull down. Seconds. Restrictions. It's the whole, like... Okay, how the fuck do I set up commands in this bot? Okay, why can't I find you? Added you. Hold up. Doing very important behind the scenes work real quick here. Okay, apparently that didn't add it. All right, let's try this again. Exclamation point beep. Add an effect. Play sound. Yes. Use file. Sensor beep. Test it. I don't want that one to be too loud, so we'll just do that. How's that? Beep is more of a car horn. True. All right, fine. We'll go with bleep then. You guys forget it. That's your fault. Now, how do I restrict it? Based on roles. How do I select the role? I think I do this. E2 sounds. That, sorry, it takes me a second because I need to like figure out exactly how this shit works in this bot because I'm still learning how to set shit up for this bot. Ah, there it is. To streamer. Save changes. It should work. Fingers crossed. So the people who are on tier 2 or giving me money on Patreon, you should be able to bleep me now. Oh, or not. Did I not activate it? Enabled. Do that. Let me try this. Grumble. Let's just see how the other ones work. Yep. Oh. I think I know what I did wrong. I know exactly what I did wrong. Okay, try it now. I think I disabled it from subscribers. Nope, still don't work. What the fuck? Yeah, Okay, you know what? Let me try this a slightly different way. I'm gonna do this the cheaty way. Duplicate. Edit the duplicated one. Change that to this. Oh, this is interesting. I can tell you how many times you guys have used the bacon command. Because I apparently can tell you guys the number of times you guys use anything. That's interesting. Save changes. Try it now. This is there's a learning curve to setting up bots. Why the fuck? Yeah, I have no fucking idea. I'll be completely honest with you. I have no idea why that's not working. It absolutely should work. So, can I tell you how many times you've used system? Yes, but I'm not going to do this for every single one of them. And I can't tell you how many times you've used it. I can just say that it's been used 4 times total since I got this bot set up today. 4 times today. Yeah, I have no fucking idea why it's not working. You found a plugin that does 99% of the work? I hate bots. I really just wish that my old one would just keep working, but I really hate having to set up and fuck with and learn how to use new bots. It's like probably my least favorite part of this job, if I had to be honest. Hammerlord has bestowed a name upon a silver warhammer. I can make a command to auto-ban you. Yeah, I don't know. I give up. Could just try... You know, fuck it. I'll try this. Down. Restart the bot. Seeing if a restart does it. Because it is set up identically to every other command. So it should work, but also apparently my bot is restarting. Thanks for giving me notifications constantly that the bot is disconnected. Windows. Wonder how I disable that. I know it's reconnected. Thank you once again. Yep, I quit. Terrible bot. Worst bot ever made. Unless, like, the sound that you gave me is, like, not compatible for some reason. Like, what? That is the... That MP3? Yeah, it should fucking work. I don't even know. Now I'm just, like, annoyed. Just want to keep messing with this shit, but I'll figure it out after stream. Grumbles. Enjoy programming? That's not possible. I refuse to believe this. What could be wrong with it? I was making sure it was an MP3. Nothing's wrong with it. Most likely what's wrong with my bot. I don't like this bot. It is way more powerful and has a lot more functionality than the other bot, but man, where it breaks in the most obnoxious, stupid ways. Needs new bot? I literally just got a new bot because the old one ceased to function. Because the idiots who bought it, Streamlabs, refused to update it. Thanks, Streamlabs. No kidding. Fuck off, Logitech. Dwarf will do okay in the military. I need to restock my squads. Truly fulfilled by assisting those in need. You would do terrible in the military. Dumping. Anyway, whatever. I just don't like fiddling with software when my old stuff worked just fine. The only reason it stopped working was because Twitch updated the API, and Streamlabs was like, yeah, we'll update our cloud solution, but not the one that you can run on your own computer and actually customize. It's like, oh, cool, thanks. So it's like this bot that I've used for close to a fucking decade now is just like not usable now. Thanks. But, you know, it is what it is. Is what it is. Not much I can do. But anyway, I need something to ramble about that isn't this stupid bot chat, so give me a subject. Any subject. Maybe not any subject, but give me a subject within reason. I have something else to ramble about. Nuts? Walnuts are pretty good. Had some in my oatmeal this morning. Donuts? Not good. Spike my blood sugar. Cause pain. Much pain. And make me need to urinate constantly because spiked blood sugar. Charcoal, if that's considered a color. If not, gray. Color is also, the word color is also my favorite American misspelling of the word color. What? Did I cave something in? Is there a hole there? It's just a hole in this floor now. And a hole in this wall, excuse me. Did I cause a cave-in? I must have. It's just a hole in that wall. I have no idea why. There's no dead things underneath it. So, whoopsies. Time to sleep. Sleep well. Excellent. My favorite scents of candles? Depends on the brand. Like, just as an example, there's this... Can't remember the name of it. There's a brand. I know the name of like the container, but I can't actually remember the name of the brand. Where I love the smell of their vanilla candles. But then like there's this other more common and easier to find brand, which is also has like car fresheners and shit, where their vanilla candles smell more like plastic burning than vanilla. So, you know, fun fact, did you know that a lot of vanilla scents, like the scent of vanilla, often comes from recycled plastic? So you're actually like inhaling re-burnt plastic bottles?
Just a little something.
Thanks for the $10.80. Cheers, man. Thanks, bunches. Cheers. Some weird shit on YouTube. My videos are on YouTube. It's about all I got. I don't know. I don't really, you know, you want to know how to not accidentally run into super weird shit on YouTube? Just turn off your YouTube history. If you turn off your YouTube history, then they have nothing to recommend. And so they just don't recommend things to you. So you just get like, not what's most popular on YouTube, but like videos that directly match the tags of the last video that you watched. Like the one that you're watching right there. So I'm kind of immune to YouTube rabbit holes now because I've disabled all the YouTube stat tracking. Random fact about YouTube. Do you guys remember when YouTube used to have like a thing that was shown on your channel that would say how many videos you've watched? And in the account settings, it would say how many hours of videos you'd watched. I remember being super proud of myself hitting 1,000 videos. I was like, damn, I've watched 1,000 videos on this website. Watch hours of views? Fuck if I know, dude. Fuck if I know. I don't understand how YouTube works. I really wish I did. I think that watch hours are better. But I don't know. And like an example of I don't fucking know how YouTube works is like this video, right? This video I uploaded this morning, you know? It gets a couple hundred views in the first few hours, which I'm pretty happy about. And then it kind of picked up a little bit right when I was starting the stream. I'm like, man, this video is doing great. And then suddenly did this for some fucking reason. Today, and then just like fell back down to literally nothing. You fucking tell me. I don't know. But yes, both probably. I mean, like, honestly, what helps people on YouTube is sub on the YouTube, leave a like or a dislike, doesn't matter, interaction, leave a comment, watch the video to the end, and share it to a friend. Like, just, you know. I think most likely watching for a very short period of time is probably the worst thing you can do. You're going to open a video, let it run for a bit. Give at least some watch time, because watch time is important. But I don't know. When you figure it out, please tell me. That video? No. Because it came from browse features. If the views came from Discord, it would have been listed as the views came from external. All of the views on that video that I just showed come from browse features, which is recommended subscription. It's basically everything that isn't external and isn't somebody watching it from their subscription feed. So it's like front page, it's subscription feed, it's recommended from other video. It's like everything else basically. Which I pretty much. Like, browse features is just like, you got views from YouTube. Okay. Thanks. That's helpful. What's actually helpful is when it's like, oh, it comes from external, and then you can find the exact page on the exact website that links it. Like, every now and again, there's a forum that's been around forever, which I actually have an account on from 1 billion years ago, called RPG Codex. Sometimes links my stuff, generally the interviews. which is always interesting. It's like, you got 5% of your views on this video came from rpgcodex.com or .net, 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 rpgcodex.net. Yeah, this website. Like, these guys link my videos sometimes, which is cool. Neat. Like, I get whole mini, like, articles written on the front page of that site about my interviews sometimes. Most recently, the Songs of Six one did that. Plano, I have a question. This is a hypothetical question that might sound strange, based on a conversation that happened earlier today. Is the Dwarf Fortress community known for intentionally abusing dwarves with disabilities? And if so, can we kill that, please? I still got a bugbear in my ear about this one. Elves have arrived to trade. Really? It's been a couple years. I'm starting to wonder if I was going to see them again. I was actually starting to think I was chopping down too many trees because I have been chopping down a lot of them. God, this forest is so pretty. There's so many colors. I don't think I have anything to sell them, though. I guess actually I could sell them some weapons. Hopefully they don't kill me with them. I have Ohm Blood, apparently. Cool. You know, let's just bring all these gems over. Gizzard stones and such. But not disabled dwarf hate? Cool. And how some footless dwarf with a crutch carries a boulder 50 Z levels, which sounds bad, but I mean, it's meant to be endearing. I don't think that sounds bad. I think that's just an example of how a dwarf can cope with a shitty situation. I don't think that's, like, mocking in the slightest, actually. Like, genuinely. Like, if I met a dude with no feet and 2 crutches who was able to carry a boulder up 50 stories up a building, like, fucking holy shit, dude. It's like one of my favorite dwarves that I had in Log Death was the dwarf with no legs. Like, literally had, like, both of his knees broken and never used a crutch. And so I made him my manager, and he was, like, the best goddamn manager I ever had. He never tantrumed and just crawled around and crawled up to the table and filed out the orders and then sat in the social areas drinking. It's like, you fucking awesome dwarf. Hang out, man. There's another Steam update image that got missed in the release. What? You telling me I need to make another video? Cool. All right, cool. I need, like, some confirmation from someone who was being a nitwit in chat earlier. You know, they say that it's just like the dumb ones that you remember and that stick in your brain. It's like, yep. All right. Let's see if we can trade with some elves. Pretty much stone, yeah. Could have been second image. You know, I don't actually think that that's worth... Yeah, I don't know if that's even worth, like, adding. I mean, eat the rich, but also... I like nobles, they're cool. The thing is, like, dwarves don't actually get wealth, right? Like, that's not even, like, relevant. It's not even an eat the rich, it's more like... dethrone elected officials, which is, you know, fine. Yeah, I mean, basically the same screenshot was already in the thing. It was just, it's not necessary that I make another video out of it. I mean, I don't hate vampires, and my were creature's down here, and he's fine. In fact, like, sorry, she's fine. I mean, she's a bit dejected, kind of sad. You know, actually, hold up. Let's see if I can get Stone down here to do stuff. I'm just gonna delete your zone. You want to like, just hold up. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I was like, why are you like refusing to do anything down here for all eternity? Well, it's because I didn't have the job assigned. I'm smart. The noble pulls the doom lever. I always saw as a don't ask for stuff that causes problems or you're the horse scenario. I mean, it's just like in real life. If like an elected official says something dumb enough times, eventually they're going to get a mob running in there and stabbing them to death with pitchforks. Sorry, but it's pretty funny, Stone. I'm not disagreeing. That is pretty funny. I'm smart, okay? Don't mind me. Did you know that if you stud a bed out of things that you can make, it usually satisfies them? Anander? I was wondering for so long why this dwarf was just fucking standing there and like not deconstructing this wall. It's because I unassigned all of the jobs when they became aware creatures so that they would cease what they're doing. What, the, like, if you demand enough things that we can't do, we will eventually mob you to death? I mean, it's true, both with elected officials in real life and also with nobles. I like nobles because they add, like, weird gameplay that I kind of enjoy because I'm a strange person like that, but poor Stony. I mean, Stony's gonna go digging. Stony's going to go build their own fort, like, down here somewhere. Stoney's gonna live a better life now. Stoney just had to, like, hang out for a while and contemplate their life. Make you a little food stockpile right here. And, we'll make you a still. Yeah, you get to eat your first meal in like a year because I'm an idiot. 2 years, maybe. Probably closer to a year. Gosh. Oh, I can't wait until we get chores. Like the concept of children being able to haul and do basic constructions and cleaning is like, you can clean up your own puke now. So excited. Like, literally, a child can walk out into the sun and vomit on the floor, and then mom goes, clean that up, and baby goes, okay. Can't wait. No, it's not child labor, it's chores. Come on. Child labor makes it bad. Chores is like telling the kid to do the dishes. Dwarf Fortress version of kid doing the dishes is dwarf building a pyramid, okay? Dwarves don't need to clean dishes, because dwarves I'd eat with their fingers, I guess? Any spare dwarves? Fuck tons. What do you want? Literally, you can have anything. You can even be the human scholar if you want it. You want to write books again? Here, you can be a human. Yedel. How do you spell that? Y-E-D. Okay, Y-E-D-E-L-E. Nandar. Creative impulse is so valuable. She was bored after not learning anything for so long. Oh no, that's not good. and after being away from friends. Well, you dream of making a great discovery. You were one of my adventurers, actually. She is 37 years old, born on the 3rd of Hematite in the year 141. Her straight hair is extremely long, and she has a high voice. Her slightly wide-set teal eyes are protruding. Her somewhat splayed-out ears are narrow, and her eyebrows are quite dense. Her hair is burnt umber, and her skin is cinnamon. Anandar likes shale, fine pewter, kunzite, green glass, giant koala leather, armadillo shell, cotton fabric, giant grackle parchment, grasshopper men for their leaps, and the words of the orbs of meditating, and the sight of the embraces of lathering, when possible prefers to consume tomatillo wine, alpaca's milk, and you can't stand blood gnats. Combine that with toy stockpiles. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, just like put a bunch of toys in the doctoring guild and then get doctors. Gosh. Elven for Confederacy? Yes. She made a bowl of ramen with avocado, baby bok choy, and sesame oil and shallot. I'm jealous. She never feels discouraged after experiencing trauma in 176. She has a strong tendency towards privacy, and she is conflicted by this as she dislikes this sort of concealment in the abstract. She is only rarely feels strong cravings and urges, and she is troubled by this because she values such powerful forces in life. And she takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful, and she is quick to form negative views about things. I feel that. She can easily fall in love or develop positive sentiments, and tends to think before acting, isn't given to flights of fancy, and isn't particularly curious about the world. She generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity, and doesn't really care about anything anymore. Does sound tasty. Although needs an egg. That's my complaint. Ramen needs egg. If doesn't have egg, don't feel like ramen to me. Personally sees friendship as one of the finer things in life. Like that. I just like that sentence out of context. And Andrew, yeah, a human will do. That'll do. All right, so the House of Knives, my library. Let's just make sure that you can actually go in there. You should be able to. Chest up there. Did I ever trade with you? I don't think I did. You don't eat eggs? Oh. Okay, fair enough. If you don't eat them, you don't eat them. This might sound like a dumb question, but gizzard stones are gems and not part of an animal, right? Dude, if apprenticeships get expanded, even just slightly, apprenticeships are going to be super cool. Buy some hoods. I know that they're an animal part, but I know where gizzard stones come from, but I'm wondering if elves will trade with them. But I'm not going to try it. Although I sell meat all the time to them. Oh, maybe they don't care. I don't know. I've never sold gizzard stones to elves before, so I don't know what their response to that is. Like a Getting Her Berries Dwarf Fortress series on my YouTube. I have a basic tutorial and I also have a bunch of quick tips videos, but no, not really. I genuinely believe that my tutorials are terrible. Don't watch them. Adjusting my floor mat. If you want a good, like, Basics video. Watch Krog Smash is your first fortress. Thing's got a goddamn million views at this point, so. Oh, also, Clino, I know that you know my thoughts on the starter pack, but I'm really kind of amazed at the fact that the starter pack got 1 million downloads. That's kind of, or 2 million downloads. That's kind of nuts. That is kind of nuts. You had chickens when you were growing up, perfectly healthy and would eat grass, and you'd eventually end up with perfectly smooth glass pebbles? Huh. Interesting. You miss playing muds? So go play a mud. Where's the lizard wizard is what gizzards be like? Will 2x downstairs and 1 upstairs work? No, you need a downstair, an up downstair, and then an upstair. Two downstairs? Downstair doesn't work. You need downstair, upstair. Or downstair, up, downstair, upstair. But, because, like, if you're stacking downstairs, it's, like, half of a stair and then half of a stair with, like, a chunk in the middle that's missing, basically. It'd be like cutting the center of a stairway up and, like, expecting to jump it. Which, like, theoretically they could, but they don't. Speaking of jump it, where's Stone at? Oh, and look at Stone harvesting all the plants! Satisfied at work. I want to make a still. Or papaya wood logs. Let Stone go make a still. After you're done harvesting all of the plants, naturally. I feel so bad for this poor dwarf. Equipment are you trying to pick up? All right, well, we'll just let you do your thing for a little bit. Let's just turn off dump, because I'm getting all sorts of weird cancelings now. What are you trying to haul? Nothing, apparently. My dwarves are actually getting a break, which is kind of incredible. You're a waterfall. Satisfied after learning about diagnostics. There you go. Actually, hold on. Anander, how good's your clothing? Actually, like, still in good condition. That's kind of shocking. Just found out that your folks had COVID like a week or two ago. Well, I'm glad they're okay. Hope everybody's feeling all right and getting over it. Being sick sucks. And bonk. And pull that again. And I still haven't had it, and it's not on my to-do list, so whatever that's worth. You know, I do often say try everything once, but infectious diseases are not one of those. Let's do all this. I can't tie or untie knots. Every knot I've ever tried to untie, you've made unopenable? So you have a hard time untying knots, is what you're saying? That's interesting. Do you know why that is? Or do knots just give you a hard time? I'll say, Bob, what's up? How's things? Incredible at tying knots, probably, yeah. My knots tend to fall apart, so. Unless, like, there's specific knots that I use when camping. I'm pretty good at those ones. Like, I've never had a knot fall apart that I tied for a hammock. I'm very good at tying hammock knots. Because I love to sleep in hammocks when camping. It's like, I'm that guy who won't bring a tent camping. I'll just bring a fucking hammock and just set it up and just be like, yeah, good night, everybody. How are the dwarves? They're all right. Some better than others, but they're all right. I mean, this one's kind of having a rough week, but like, you know, they're all right, I would say. We have a very elaborate setup designed to drop a very large amount of rock on enemies that walk underneath my defensive entrance area. So. Yeah, and then Stone down here just kind of becomes a lizard once a month and tries to, like, murder everybody. Fortunately, hasn't actually hurt anybody yet because he self-quarantined willingly. Or she self-quarantined willingly shortly after contracting the lycanthropy? Question mark? Hello, Pack. How are you? Good to see you, Pack. How goes things at the other end of the continent? Lizard epi? Like, lizardaptropy? I don't even fucking... Yeah, it was probably herptanthropy, actually. Herptanthropy? I still maintain that the rarest thing I've ever seen in Dwarf Fortress in my entire career of playing this game is a werewolf. I'm still flabbergasted I actually saw a werewolf. I'm alright. It's been a bit of a weird day, but I'm alright. No huge complaints. How about yourself, Pack? Nothing I can super logically actually complain about legitimately, so. What is Mothfall? The name of this fort. This fort is called Mothfall because I had an adventurer who was riding on a giant moth, and they drowned just upstream from here. So I dubbed this area in my headcanon Mothfall, and this fortress is named Mothfall. But there really isn't any DF variants. There are some, like, overhaul mods, but it's a closed source game, so there's no variants. Hey, Magna. What is up? Nothing much. Played Minecraft most of today, so you're taking a break and making a proper dinner. Bean chili. Ooh. Well, proper dinner is good. I had a big fancy breakfast burrito and a corn tortilla last night, and I'm probably gonna have the same thing tonight. Because I have eggs and they need to be eaten, so. I have eggs, I got vegan sausage, I've got garlic and everything, so. Nice and tasty. Yeah, no, we're just working on the Fortress of Mothfall. We'll probably play Dwarf Fort for roughly another hour, hour and a half. Maybe a little longer. And then I'm thinking pretty even tie between Quasi-Morphosis or more Pixel Dungeon tonight. Oh, did nothing ever come from that job thing, Stone? Did they give you work boots? I mean, I have shoelaces on all of my shoes. I don't believe I have ever okay, you know what? Let's just deconstruct. Actually, just deconstruct the one of them. Just that one. And, we're not farming. You have construction turned on. You should. Pie green curry with barbecue chicken and fresh shrimp. Really tasty? Yeah. Believe it. They thought that you'd be a trade, Stone? You know, Stone, I don't know how to say this, but, like, you strike me much more as somebody who would work in a library. Not so much a... Like, I don't know you personally, right? I know you through Twitch chat. But you strike me as the sort of person that would love working in a library or in something with a lot of organization. A little bit of a different kind of gig, you know? Like we got a library dwarf hanging out here. Where's these? Ah, there's these migrants. Despite the danger, what danger? Incredibly calm demeanor and somewhat scatterbrained. Feels best when everyone gets along without any strife or contention. Well, how about you join the military and help us get along without any more strife or contention? An architect, dream of crafting a masterwork someday. Is polite and observe the appropriate rules of decorum, but brave. Join the military. Uh-oh. That's a crash. That's the second crash in this world. That's not good. This is advanced world gen, though. And that is the wrong install. When was the last save? I'm not totally sure, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think physical strength has as much to do with it. Well, at least I can get this problem sorted. That's no good, huh? Yeah. I mean, if we get too many, I will just, you know, fix it pretty swiftly. This was before we named Anander, right? Yes. Yeah, there's something funky going on with this world a little bit, I would say. Something's going up. I don't like it. But advanced world gen is more likely to cause stuff like that, which we definitely did do on this world. I didn't lose much time, though. Maybe a quarter of a season, like a month, give or take. As I was playing real slowly and talking with chat a lot. I can power back to where we were pretty quick. So not a huge biggie. But I can tell you this for a fact, Stone, you can buy work boots with Velcro. I actually used to own a pair of hiking boots that were Velcro. All right. Stony week, right? I like how he just like tried to pick up equipment a couple times and then just started praying again, and then goes over and starts working on that. Yeah, I already did that. Kind of just powered through it and just got it done. Quickly jumped from thing to thing to thing that I needed to do. But yeah, no, I mean, for whatever it's worth, my grandma on my dad's side still thinks that I need to get a real job, so. I mean, I have a few family members that are kind of snide about what I do for a living. Granted, I don't get along particularly well with parts of my extended family, but it's like there are some parts of my family that are just like, how do I word this? I'll put it this way. At a Christmas a couple of years ago, my uncle said that I was a bad influence on his sons because I was because of the career that I was pursuing was leading them to believe that they could live the rest of their lives being lazy little shits. So, you know, he wants them to be mechanics or some shit. I don't know. Get a job in trades. He's a union shop kid though, so like, you know, he's got lots to say about being a lazy little shit. But let's cancel all of get rid of the job cancellation problems. Mostly because every time that I'd be around my cousins during a Christmas or something, by the end of it, they'd be like, man, if he can do it, I can stream Fortnite for a living if he can do it. And of course, you know, I wear my Twitch shirt, my Twitch partner shirt, my Twitch partner hat, which I don't have anymore. My Twitch toque, my like Discord hoodie. Is basically I put on as much Twitch merch as I possibly can every Christmas. He seems nice. I mean, he's also like super perplexed about how like none of the family wants to hang out with him because, you know, he hasn't been vaccinated and like gets mad at everybody who's been vaccinated for existing, and blames people who are vaccinated for causing the pandemic. So, you know, yeah, he's a lovely person. Lovely person. Apparently he's like up to some shit recently that like my parents won't tell me about. I'm really curious, but one day I'll pry it out of him. Like, you know, if you don't want to go get stabbed, that's fine, but just like don't blame me for causing a pandemic because I got vaccinated, you fucking weirdo. Anyway, that explains much of it. I'm also pretty sure he was patient 0. Also pretty sure he was patient zero. Where all the Twitch march. Damn straight, dude. The reason I say I'm pretty sure he was patient zero was he went to Daytona 500 in like that spring that the pandemic was starting in 2020, and got there 3 days early, got super sick on day 3, the day before the race started, spent the rest of the week in his hotel, not leaving his hotel, just sick as fuck, and then came home on the plane sick as fuck, and in his words, puked twice on the plane. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he was patient zero. And then later he had antibodies when those tests were happening. Anyway. What a twat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, there's parts of my family that I just kind of avoid. I think everybody kind of has like that one weird member of the family that nobody else likes. But I'm gonna scroll back up because what was this about me being a professional inspiration? You think that I'm a professional inspiration and they just want you to suffer as much as them and they're jealous? Well, thank you. I don't believe I've ever been called a professional inspiration. I've been called a nincompoop, an idiot, a moron, a twit, a twat, a jackass, a skinny white kid, guy with the face. I don't believe I've ever been called a professional inspiration. So consider that a first. Thank you. Oh, constantly. Absolutely. Fucking every time I'm in the room with those kids, it's like... Like, I mean, last time, the thing that I was really, like, flexing on them with was, like... I mean, you know who I got to talk to a couple weeks back? Ninja. Which is not totally incorrect. I definitely had an, oh shit, it's Ninja, but I definitely didn't talk to fucking Ninja. But it was definitely a, like, hanging out in a hallway and then Ninja walks past you. It's like a, all right, keep talking. Who? Exactly. Well, actually, I mean... Hate that this is in my search history. This isn't sponsored, I swear. I wish it was. Yeah, that and... that, if you, watch the trailer if you want to laugh. It's basically just dye your hair blue, make yourself brandable, and buy a nicer microphone. Oh yeah, and get Microsoft to pay you $30 million to stream on their dying streaming platform. That's basically like all the advice that he could really give you. He plays Final Fantasy Online too. He plays like 3 games. It's like Fortnite, Halo, and Final Fantasy. I mean, to be completely honest with you, Clino, I have absolutely nothing against Ninja. He's like probably the least problematic streamer of that size. Like the worst thing the dude ever said was he doesn't stream with women because he doesn't want his chat to start drama about him and his wife. Which is kind of shitty, but from the perspective of a guy who was almost married once, I can kind of see where he's coming from because I know what Twitch chat can do. Dye your hair red. Well, by that logic, he should have dyed his hair purple then, not blue. What are you trying to store in a stockpile? I mean, how to become a YouTuber in 2 easy steps. Make YouTube account, upload video. Congrats, you're a YouTuber. Like, it's literally... The thing about, like, this industry is you can't really, and like I've had some people ask me in the past, it's like, oh, you should like try and join a consulting agency or teach other people how to stream. It's like, you can't really teach it. Like you really can't teach somebody how to stream. All you can really, and like anybody who's streamed for any like length of time generally will agree with this. Like, yeah, there's some do's and don'ts and some like tips you can get for sure. And like, there's definitely some like networking and knowledge and stuff that you can go into the industry with that'll help you. But there isn't like any, this is the thing that you need to do to be able to stream. Like, there's no like, this is the list of tasks that you need to complete in order to be a streamer. If you want to stream, you just turn your fucking stream on and start streaming. And then figure it out from there. It's not rocket science. It's just streaming on a website. Like, you need to be charismatic and entertaining. You need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to hold an audience. And that's just a skill that you learn by doing. Yes, you either have to have a really good personality and a lot of persistence or a fuckload of luck. I mean, even Ninja had a fuckload of luck. Like, dude streamed for a really long time before he blew up. It was like almost a decade of streaming before he got huge. Almost a decade. He started in like 2010 as a fucking professional Halo player and then blew up in what, 2018? Like 8 years? Fucking... I mean, yeah, he was a pretty successful streamer before then. He was like no bigger than like any member of my stream team. Really, like he was like 800 to 1,000 viewers on a good day. He was bigger than me, but not by much. And then he was extremely fucking lucky. Made a good judgment call and jumped on it. No feelings at all. I mean, it just kind of shows how vanilla and dull a lot of this industry is. Clino. That's what that video shows to me. That masterclass. It's just like, so much of this industry is just boiled down to the minimum possible requirements. Also, I'm just going to do a real quick save and reload because I don't know what caused that crash, and I don't want to see it happen again. I would say it's less luck-based. YouTube is more luck-based. Streaming is more, especially Twitch, is more networking, realistically. Like, the biggest key to success. Like, if you just have a famous friend, like, if you happen to hang out with Nick Frags at a fucking bar and then you play some PUBG, yeah, you're good. You know? And he raids you with 80,000 people a day, you're like, yeah, you're fucking great. Who is that? One of the biggest streamers on the platform, like 100,000, like 70 to 100,000 concurrent viewers. Kind of looks like a cheap knockoff plastic copy of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Plays first-person shooters and goes, I'm on fucking steroids and shit. That's Nick Frags. But like, jokes aside, dude's a fucking truck. Like, he's big. Like, he's massive. Well, base bodybuilder who plays video games. You know, honestly, I actually did consider playing Elden Ring. And then I looked at the camera and was like, oh, right, it's still a Souls game. I'm good. Because, like, the thing about Elden Ring is, like, that game has the same kind of discovery that I love, you know? Like, I love that style of discovery in video games. I love that kind of, fuck you, you're on your own, go figure it out kind of shit. I love that. But I get that same feeling out of roguelikes, right? When you feel like such an edgelord hipster fuck when you don't know the big names. What, on Twitch? I mean, see, here's the difference, right? The people who watch this stream, the average age is 25 to 34. The average age for those kinds of streams, those really big ones, is 16 to 24. Who would you rather hang out with? A bunch of young 20s somethings and a bunch of teenagers? Or a bunch of adults that are capable of having conversations? It's up to you. Pick your audience. Go hang out. Have fun. You're too ancient for this channel? I mean, that's the average. The least common age category for this channel is under 25. So if you're above 25, you're in the average, basically. Why is that crit bank so flat? Because he flattened it. You can flatten crit blank. No comment. Glenn was like, I win. Although I can tell you guys for a fact, unless you are younger than 79 years old, you are not the oldest person who's watched this stream. Unless you're older than 79. I worded that poorly. We're old enough to hold normal conversations? Generally, except for when Nitwit number 95 shows up. Step 1, get that crit blank. Step 2, get bop, B-O-P, come on. Step 1, crit blank. Step 2, bop. Step 3, flat crit blank. Profit. I mean, what this is actually my favorite. Hold on. Just let me do some dumb emote shenanigans for a second here. Nope, that's the... This is the thing. Modify. Flatten. Yes. Yes. Yeah. There. That's my favorite combo. Hello, Crosslord. How are you? See you, man. What's up? Need to lower the quality level of conversations? All right, get your cock copy pastas and Mario shitting. Let's go. Please don't. Boobies! I mean, that could be higher level of maturity depending on who you are. I love the fact that Stone is just here socializing by herself. Now we are 10 years old. Are we really, though? I mean, most, like, immature kids are, like, actually screaming political memes and Pepes, not boobies. Also, just remember, you are in a channel that literally has an exclamation point tits command. Just remember that. If you want to, like, joke about how mature we are, you might want to, like, check the full command. Find all the fun secret commands first. I had to make it a shady link. Come on. Because someone asked me... Yeah, there is a booby command. Yeah, there it is. I made the tits command because somebody asked me, what's a tit? I can't remember why that came up, but it was like one of those, like, I'm going to be dumb, so I'm going to ask the dumb question. Someone was like, what's a tit? And I'm like, well, clearly. And I posted the Wikipedia page for tit. And it was like, it just kind of went from there. Not gonna lie, exclamation point children is probably one of the greatest achievements I've ever done in this channel. Oh, it's the elves. They're here to trade again. Make some lead goblets. But what should I sell to these elves? I apparently have a lot of weapons I didn't know I had. Literally arming the elves. Sure, this is a great idea. I mean, the chat can't spam like political memes and racist copy pastas because I'm just too busy being all like, ban the shitlords. That meme getting old yet? Because like, I still think it's funny. Who are you, George Bush? My name ain't George. Say that much. It's got a couple more days. It's got at least 72 more hours. No. Because, like, do you honestly give a shit? I mean, if you genuinely give a shit, then I guess we could talk about Chris Rock slapping, or Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars. But at the end of the day, do you really care about Rich Man number 1 throwing a temper tantrum and slapping Rich Man number 2 because he insulted Rich Man number 1's wife? Like, if anything, it's a family matter. But also, it's like, I don't know, Chris Rock's kind of funny. But the thing that does make me actually roll my eyes about that whole ordeal are all the people that are just like, it was fake. It's like, bruh. No, it wasn't. That was not fake. Which I actually do think is kind of disgusting. They should have been booing him for assaulting somebody on stage. Like, if you want to call somebody out for talking shit about your wife, okay, don't do it on public television. That's actually kind of gross. Like, you do not walk up onto a stage and hit somebody. Like, you don't do that. You just don't do that. Unless it's a NoFX show. In which case, you still don't walk up on stage and hit them. You just throw your drink at them because that's part of the show. Or a war show. Then you throw your drink at them. That's fine. Yeah, actually, that I do. Like, hats off to Chris Rock for just kind of being like, whoa, that just happened. Anyway. I just got hit. Okay, I won't. Cool. Moving on. Like, I think that might have been one of the best diffusals I think I've ever seen after a public freakout, but... Then you throw a shoe? I don't... I wouldn't test that, Christoph, but... Unless there's, like, some specific thing in legislature that says that you're allowed to throw a shoe at a president, I wouldn't throw anything at a president. Think to the display of violence made us worse as a culture. I think that everybody has been going a little bit insane the past 2 years for completely logical and understandable reasons. I think it has been a incredibly stressful few years, and I think everybody is uptight. I think that from what I do know about Will Smith, I have a feeling that flail is sus. I do have a feeling that Will Smith's relationship with his wife is maybe not the best. And I think that raised tensions are kind of understandable. However, violence is never the answer, and I think it's fucking embarrassing. That's like my genuine response. I'm embarrassed for Chris Rock, and it's just another reason in my cap for me to say fuck the Oscars, and also Hollywood. That's my genuine response. Like, if you actually want to know what I think about all that stuff, that is my genuine response. And shoutouts to Chris Rock for not turning around and hitting him back. Yeah, I mean, it was a shitty joke. It wasn't funny. You know, it's just like when someone says something shitty to me in Twitch chat, and I say, ouch, and then I move on, and then it's not something, it's like not worth banning somebody over, but it's definitely in poor taste. Like, it's not a funny joke. I don't know. I've enjoyed some of Chris Rock's stand-up in the past. I do think he's generally a pretty funny dude, but that was not a funny joke. That's a fact. But if a comedian tells a not funny joke, you go, boo! You don't go, bang, right? You know, like, that's not how that works. You be the heckler. And, like, if Will Smith was the heckler in the crowd, that would have been fucking hilarious, right? Like, if he started fucking booing or some shit, that would have been fantastic. And had a conversation with him off stage. That's how you should have handled that situation. Not fucking doing that. In lighter news, you posted pictures of tomorrow's dinner in the process on Discord. It costs $20 and will feed you for multiple days. Ethnic markets are magic. I do agree with this, and I saw those pictures. X-Ranch, how are you? Although, to be totally fair, out of all of the news in the entire planet right now, Rich Man A slaps Rich Man B because Rich Man B insulted Rich Man A's wife is probably about as light of news as we could possibly fucking have. Like, let's be completely blunt here. When it comes to world news, that is the softest we got. Will Smith's a Scientologist? Really? Huh. I didn't know that. It's okay. They probably give him the loyalty discount. You don't care if Chris Rock called Will Smith's mother, I'm not going to say that, but him getting thrown out of the venue just proves if you're rich, rules don't apply. Wait, Will Smith not getting thrown out of the venue or Chris Rock getting thrown out of the venue? Hammerlord has named a shield. Might do another save when the elves leave. Side note, do sieges last forever? No, they don't. The invasion just literally left. I mean, okay, question. You're asking me if sieges, do sieges last forever? Because my siege just left. I think you just answered your own question. Yes. Macadamia nuts, walnuts. Are there almonds in DF? There's lots of nuts in DF. DF is pretty nuts when it puts its mind to it. How else do you think we make a master full macadamia nut roast? Cancels detail Floric. Frightened. Is there a ghost about? I don't see one. Probably. Not that I'm seeing. Hey, Lamond. Oh, no, hello, Rainy. We just lost all your whip vine scenes and you don't understand why. You have a 6-base farm and I was only using them to make whip wine. Do you get seeds back from making whip wine? I don't know my DF seeds all that well. I'm assuming you don't have them set to cook. Yeah, they'll probably come back. They're just leaving to resupply. Yeah, you can't even cook them. Are they seasonal? Because, like, they're never my primary, alcohol and flour. Edible. They're not edible as just raw plants. Weird. Yeah, they grow in all 4 seasons. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the wiki right now. They should make seeds. That is strange. More valuable than any other. Citrus gathered from areas. Apparently, Eurus likes whip vines for their length. They can't eat them. They're literally, like, not edible. The plant is not edible. They're only brewable. I actually, how do you have your seed stockpiles set up? Maybe they got turned into plants and you're not brewing fast enough? Well, I mean, they might have been made into flour if you're milling, but how do you have your seed stockpiles set up? Because they might be, because if you have barrels in your seed stockpile, they might be underneath other seeds and they can't access them. It could have been mice. Yeah, mice can just eat them. They can just banish if rodents are killing them. But that's one option. But the other possibility is that you have your stockpiles set up incorrectly. For seed stockpiles, you have to I don't know if I'm assuming you know this, but like you have to remove barrels. Yeah, but you have to if you have barrels in the seed stockpiles, then they might not be able to access them. But that's the only other thing that I can really think of. You have no barrels? Do you have bags in that stockpile? Too many tiles under cultivation? Yeah, that's also what Clino said is also possible. I don't know, like there's a lot of different things that could possibly have happened. My advice would just be to go harvest some more from above ground crops if you have them growing around you. And just brew some more. Oh, well, that's probably why. To give you an idea, like, I don't know how many dwarves you have. I have 78 in this fortress currently. I have this tiny-ass farm right here. This farm right here, which is mostly plump helmets. And then these 2 above-ground ones, which just get rotated crops as they come up. Usually cookable ones like lettuce and such. And that feeds my entire fort. You just have too many farm plots. You only... Like, if you have 200 dwarves, you'll need maybe 20 squares. Maybe. Just, like, brew faster. Or make another brewer. Like, brewing is a great dwarven trade. Lots of dwarves love to do it. Also, hey, Frag. So, yeah, no, it's very much a... just... work with what you have, and you might have just made too much or planted too much. How to get food going steady? Well, whip vines, if I understand correctly, are not edible by themselves. For whatever that's worth. Yeah, and then you can also then cook the flour if you're getting flour. So yeah, probably just start milling. But if you're trying to subsist an entire fortress specifically off of whipvine, Because the plants aren't edible, you'd want to be milling them as well. Lovely. I've got too many forbidden zones in this fort, so the dwarves keep getting lost. Brewing or plant gathering? Need to give you brewing, apparently. Poor. This dwarf is a were creature, so their hunger needs reset. Also, welcome back, Taylor. But yeah, one thing that I think a lot of players who are new to Dwarf Fortress often underestimate, or maybe overestimate, a lot of new, like, you can detect a new player from a distance with Dwarf Fortress if they have really big farms set up. Farming is kind of intentionally nerfed until, using Tarn's words, he can rebalance it and make it good. Farming is kind of one of those half-assed, unfinished features that needs work. So you always will need less than you expect. It's just one of those DF things. If you want realistic sized farms, you gotta play Songs of Six, which very much has realistic sized farms. Even those are still kind of small. Yeah, I mean, regardless of what I do in farming in Dwarf Fortress, I always have some plump helmets just rotating in the background because it's just like endless beer. So I'm shocked I haven't been sieged today. Shocked, man. All right, let's try and raid this site. I'm going to send in the impervious sacks. I'm going to try to raid secretly. I'm literally just going to try and get artifacts and important treasures and release the dwarves from my civ because I really want to get that done today. Putting water in my mug. Five by 5 plot for pigtails, for pigtail cloth, 4x4 plump helmet farm. Yeah, and that'll probably feed most of your dwarves. I mean, you don't even need to farm in most areas in DF. You can just, like, live off of, like, gathering plants from surface. Unless they settled in a desert where nothing grows. What item is inaccessible, though? That's a lot of ease. Elk birds. What is that? A giant cheetah, excuse me? God damn. I'm not surprised those elk birds are running. Jeez. You pick from the ground all of the apricots or whatever else happens to be nearby. Yeah, there's often apricots. Giant cheetah's going into the caverns. Good luck, cheetah. Just want to get sieged so I can test this fucking thing. Just want the opportunity to drop a lot of flooring on some goblins. All I really want. Oh, that's a giant olm. Okay, let's just kill this giant olm then. Yeah, I think that the general consensus about all of our takes on the general consensus on our feelings of Will Smith slaps Chris Rock is none of us really give a shit, I think. And the few of us who do are just kind of... That's basically my take. Make booze from gathered fruits, you can trade it for stuff too. Booze is kind of a crappy trade material in DF though. Lots of things that are so much better than using booze for trade. The impervious sacks have returned. Let's hope that they did all right. Yes, they slipped into seduced down undetected by the fly of affection. We searched and we freed the dwarf bloodcat. Hell yeah. And others. We got our dwarves back. Our prisoners have returned to us. I don't know if Bloodcat's still lurking, but welcome back, Bloodcat. And this dwarf who was one of my great axe dwarves. Stinthad was a mace dwarf. Novice one, but mace dwarf all the same. And Bloodcat, who was been one of my dwarves for a while in a couple forts. Welcome back, Bloodcat. Okay. Oh, I was very worried that would fail, but it seems to be successful. I'm happy. Losing dwarves to kidnapping when they're fighting is kind of frustrating because it's like, well, there's not much you can really do about it, but part of the game. It is part of the game. Also, we've been live for 8.5 hours. Yeah, 8.5 hours. Synthad the Dyer. It's one of your favorite newish things. Wasn't that like 2018 when that was added? 2018, 27, newish, 4 years. Sus. Newish by DF standards, I guess. Also, Clino, did you know that intelligent undead can be were creatures? Because I learned that in this fort yesterday. That you can have were creatures that are also intelligent undead. You had a fort that had a lot of plump helmets, and then you stopped making it, and it ran out because you kept checking my stock. And I stopped making it, and then ran out because you forgot to keep checking my stock. I mean, that's why you set up, like, automatic repeating orders, but... Although, plump helmets are really easy to get more of. Just go a few layers underground, and then you can just harvest them, like... They just grow wild, and they're super easy to acquire. What you doing here, Dwarf? You should just go gather that shit. Going to construct that building. Not a lot of other features then, huh? Raids or crashing forts a lot for that time. Then gather. You gather that got a lot better. You don't hear about it anymore. I mean, raids almost never crash forts. There is a few crashes that can happen to them, but they're super uncommon. On my little were creature. I'll put that log up there. There you go. Now start mining. Since you're the only one who's going to be in here, don't really matter all that much. Let's watch stone as you dig. This dwarf is a were creature, so they have to be isolated from the rest of the fortress. Or they could infect them, and then everybody could become were lizards. Just letting this dwarf kind of build their own fort. I'm also going to let you build a bed, and it's going to be your bedroom. It's going to be assigned to you, even. In case you actually want to sleep. So you never know. Maybe were creatures need to sleep. Listen to poetry. Poetry. Butchers. It's a name of a poem. Butchers is an example of the orbs of meditating. The work has no particular subject. The writing contains some asides related to the author's preferences. Overall, the poetry is passable. The orbs of meditating is a poetic riddle originating in the Crimson Pulley. The rules of the form are applied by poets to produce individual poems which can be recited. The poem is a single couplet of internal rhyme and consonants to be recited. And consonants is characteristic of the form. A form of parallelism is common throughout the poem in that certain lines have similar grammatical structures. The ending of each line of the poem shares the same rhyme as the second line of the couplet and reverses the grammatical structure of the first line. The first line is intended to make a concession, and it has 10 syllables. The second line is intended to make an assertion and has 8 syllables. It has initial, I don't even know what that word is, caesura? I know nothing about poetry. I wonder if anybody's ever actually like written poetry based on the rules of a dwarven poetic form. I've always wondered that. Because that's something I've never seen anybody do. I'd kind of love to see that. I'm going to make a finished goods stockpile here. Although that's not what I want. Nope, also not what I need. Looking for mechanisms. Considered furniture. There we go. Mechanisms. It's a mechanism stockpile. Okay, you know what? This is me going, all right, I'm kind of annoyed at this. Going to go all the way down here. All the way across. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and just fucking forbid everything. It's so much like random. Cannot haul this. Cannot find item. All from down there. And it's still fucking happening. Forbid it all. Why not just do that? Okay, let's try this again. My enter key faulty? That would be unfortunate. Updates fix the crash-related bugs. Torn's like way better at fixing dumb crash bugs than I think people give him credit for. Like, I know it might come as a shock to some people, but it's like he works on this game a lot. Let's see if that helps. Migrants arrived despite the danger. So this is about when the game crashed previously, so I'm just going to save. Trying to, like, inch up to the crash carefully. How much coffee do I have left? Cool, I got like half a mug to a mug left. Good shit, I'm gonna need that soon. Been a long day. He'd giving up on finding it up and rewrote it fresh in premium. Oh, really? Wow. That does sound very dwarfy, though. That Tarn gives up finding a bug and just rewrites it. It's pretty typical Dwarf Fortress thing. Competent armorsmith. Dreams of mastering a skill. Also, of course, if anybody wants a dwarf, just give me a shout, yeah? Dream of crafting a masterwork, but you do? Just let me know what kind of dwarf you want. If you have, unless you have no preference, in which case I'll give you whoever. But if you have a particular task you want your dwarf to be doing, tell me. No pref? Okay. That makes my job easy. That just means I do this. Cover my eyes and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're an axe dwarf. Named Nil. May you have another military god dwarf? Of course. After I, name this one. I don't believe I have a Grandmaster Axeworker. In fact, I don't believe I've ever had a Grandmaster Waxworker, so I'll get right on that. As soon as I happen to have a mountain home that sends me a lot of migrants that are Grandmaster Waxworkers, then we'll get right on that. Star Legend God How great it is to be surrounded by family, she says. She didn't feel anything after being unable to practice the craft for too long, and is euphoric due to inebriation and felt satisfied, learning about dodging. You love sparring. You're a very happy dwarf. Except for the part where you were afraid after experiencing trauma. But aside from that, you're a very happy dwarf. You don't remember any of your trauma. You've only been thinking about mastering observation and being near a waterfall. 80 years old, born on the 11th of Granite in the year 98. You have no kills and no family and no relations. You are a worshiper of Deller Diamondcrest, the mountainess, a deity associated with mountains. And she is 80 years old, born on the 11th of Granite in the year 98. She has a prominent chin, and her heliotrope eyes have large irises. Her ears are extremely tall, and her very short hair is neatly combed. Her nose bridge is slightly convex, and her head is somewhat tall. Her dark peach skin is slightly wrinkled, and her hair is black with a touch of gray. She personally hates those who wield power over others and thinks friendship is important and thinks the ideas of independence and freedom are somewhat foolish. News of mastering a skill in this dream is realized. She has such a developed sense of optimism that she always assumes the best outcome will eventually occur no matter what. She is very rarely moved by curiosity, and she only rarely feels strong cravings or urges. Also, Space Pirate, let me know what weapon you want. I got like blunt, sharp, pointy. What do you want? She often acts with compassion and is somewhat uncomfortable around those who appear unusual or live differently from herself. She prefers that everyone live as harmoniously as possible, and she has an active sense of humor. She doesn't seek out excitement, and she is quick to form negative views about things. She likes to take it easy and does not often feel lustful. She tends to not be swayed by emotional appeals and has a greedy streak. She needs alcohol to get through the working day and likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at crappy weather. And she doesn't really care about anything or anyone anymore. And overall, she's satisfied with happy needs. What's up, Tony? How's things? Also, Clino, I thought you didn't like having dwarves because they always die. I actually just checked to make sure I don't have any waxwork because I have a potter, but... Spears. I do, in fact, have a Spearmaster. I'm just going to name you Space. That's okay? So that I can differentiate the two of you in my head. You have 10 notable kills. You killed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9 humans, and 1 goblin, and a troll. You have lots of family and a lover who doesn't live here. No friends. And he's satisfied remembering mastering observation. Within the last season, he didn't feel anything after seeing a troll's dead body, and didn't feel anything after seeing English Tail Mirrod's dead body, but was uneasy after being unable to acquire something for too long, and is interested remembering learning about kicking, and relieved remembering being near a waterfall. He is the son of Nil and Usteth, and is romantically involved with Mothfall. Is 68, almost 60 nice years old, born on the 10th of Limestone in the year 110. His sideburns are clean-shaven, and his long mustache is neatly combed. His very long beard is arranged in double braids, and his hair is clean-shaven. He has a very deep voice, and his nose is sharply hooked, and he has a jutting chin. I can't even. His slightly close-set heliotrope eyes are slit, and his short ears have nearly fused lobes. His hair is dark peach, his skin is slightly wrinkled, and his hair is black. He likes stoneware, tin, rubicile, water buffalo leather, spears, helms, and coins, and water buffaloes for their wallowing. Giant coaties for their curiosity, and the torch of glimmers, and the sight of the velvety queen, but when possible prefers to consume sheep, teff beer, and sheep. He prefers to consume sheep, teff beer, flax flour, and can't stand brown recluse spiders. You don't eat mutton, you just eat a whole sheep. Personally, believes that he personally believes that the mastery of a skill is one of the highest pursuits, values honesty, and values peace over war. Dislikes cooperation and dreams of mastering a skill. This dream was realized. This dwarf just wants to eat a sheep, like a whole sheep, like the ones that I had pictures of on my phone last night. He is very slow to he's very slow to anger and actively avoids exciting or stressful situations after experiencing trauma in 174. Tends to be swayed by the emotions of others and tends to think before acting. Is rarely happy or enthusiastic and is conflicted by this since he values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. Doesn't handle stress well. Well, that's not true. Doesn't handle stress well. And can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand, is quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture, and is not particularly interested in what others think of him. He tends to avoid crowds and is a bit stubborn in changing his mind about things. He needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't mind, hold on. His mind about things, he needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't really care about anything anymore. There we go. You're untroubled after drinking, too. You have an iron spear in your right hand and a copper shield. Checking something real quick. I really wish I had more armor materials. It's like literally armor is cute to be like, I'm right here, man. I'll be like, God damn it, dude. Literally just like a sprinkling of flax flour as seasoning on the entire sheep. Super happy. Just like some straight up flax seeds. Just dry. Eat some like sunflower seeds, just crunching them. I don't even know what flax seeds are like. Those are on bread sometimes, right? Glasses are dirty, apparently. Still waiting for goblins to show up. Death count has been much lower today, though. All right. Well, I'm going to take a gamble and hope that the goblins don't show up while I do this. We're going to go hit these guys with all 3 of my squads. We're going to attempt to raise them. We're not going to loot items, and we're not going to steal livestock. The second I do this, a vile force of darkness is going to arrive. It's weird when I take off my glasses. Yeah, I know. You can see how fucked up my bad eye is. To be fair, I look at myself weirdly when I take off my glasses. Oh my god, over 100 dwarfs. Greatly pleased by his own looks and appearances, and likes to take it easy and is often cheerful and doesn't handle stress well. So these dwarfs that don't handle stress well. Feels strong emotional bonds with others at times to her detriment. I feel like I know you. Where's the build menu for our drawbridges? You can't find it for some reason? It's G. BG. Lowercase g. Bridge. And then by default it retracts if you attach stuff to it. And then you use UMKH to make it bigger. As they say. And WADXS to point it in different directions. Actually, X? What? No, not X. Actually, maybe... Yeah, X to, like, go down. I didn't even realize that. I just did it automatically. But yes, bridges are drawbridges. Meaning, I probably need to start working on beds again. Yeah, I absolutely do. You guys need to claim some beds, you idiots. Speaking of idiots, Stone. You're not an idiot. You're a very smart dwarf. You are a very slow dwarf. The problem with Stone that this dwarf really has is this slight fever that is just like permanent for all eternity. God, I still can't believe I still can't believe I only just found this. Anyway, that slight fever is just like slowing down all of the tasks that you do. It's gonna take you forever to actually finish anything. No, S retracts. X is to go south. Yeah, I just opened up that menu on Stone here. You can select a dwarf, hit H, and then go all the way to the right. It's like, I knew that tab was there, and I often would just like look at the status, because I've always found that status menu to be quite helpful. Need a dwarf that has health problems. Or here, this goose will work. Oh, never mind. I can't actually look. Oh no, his bill is gone. You know, I'm gonna put this goose out of its misery. I feel so bad for it. Imagine being a goose with no bill. To be totally fair, this goose fought with a rock and won. It didn't kill a rock, but the dwarves did kill a rock. So it was very helpful in our battle against a rock. Actually, chat, question. What do I do? Do I make this goose available as a pet? Or do I slaughter it? Its right hip is mangled beyond recognition. Its lower leg bears a massive straight scar, and its bill is gone. It proved it was a bigger bird. It kept on pecking at the rock. Pet? Okay. We will not slaughter you, goose. Where's that stray gander? There you go. It is now available as a pet that someone can claim if they would like. Like a new squad. Except I'm gonna put somebody else as this job. Fly test? Yeah, that was. There a particular reason you guys haven't? Oh. The giantess, Rid, has come. A gigantic creature resembling a human, almost unparalleled in size. Well, this is suboptimal. Can't tell you to kill him. Can't tell you to kill him. Guys, now is not optimal time for this. The giantess is naked and has a bruise. Giant naked lady. And the dwarves jump on it, and it's done. Giants need a buff. I mean, come on. The Hammer Lord bashes a giantess in the head with a silver warhammer, bruising the skull and jamming the skull through the brain. Just keep them all in training 24/7 until they're the top skill, and then do whatever. That's what I do. Unless, like, a dwarf gets upset from too intensive training, which is pretty rare. Often, like, I will give dwarves breaks in Long Death by putting them in the military. His influence? Influenced this, I suppose. Also, sorry, Stone. But you losing another investment. Okay. Let's check these peasants. Unfriendly and disagreeable. Are you even remotely brave? Acts impartially. Finds obligations confining. You'll hate the military. That's fine. Next. Enjoys being in crowds. Slow to anger. Extremely confident in situations requiring his skills. Thinks he's fairly important in the grand scheme of things. Put you into the new squad. It was an influencer, unfortunately, yes. Is there a way to see who got the final blow, aside from Hammerlord? Yeah, but I just didn't care to. I mean, I could figure it out. Roll, Hammerlord. I am an intellectual. I had an intellectual discussion with my friend. That was satisfying. Allegedly, that dwarf had an intellectual discussion with their friend while they were killing the giant. It was one of the Hammerlords, so let's just check this. It'll be a notable kill. Well, it wasn't you. You don't have a kill. At least I think it was one of the Hammerlords. Nope. Wasn't any of them. Yeah, it'll be listed in their kills. But that's assuming that the dwarf is still here. Yeah, once they're in the military, they basically always stay a military dwarf. I might care about that more after the premium version comes out, because I'll actually be able to see them. Wrestler. Lord. Yeah, it's one of the purple dwarves. I mean, they may have left. I'm actually not totally sure. But it'll show up in their kills as a notable kill. I honestly don't care that much about giants. They're just not that memorable usually. Which sounds bad, but it's kind of true. Yeah, it may have been one of the dwarves that just left. Or is not in this crew right here. Currently. But usually I just look to see who got the last hit or what the skill of the person who got the last hit was, and then just check everybody of that type. That's usually who did it. That's usually how I go about it. It also, like, just doesn't really matter that much. Unless it's an enemy or creature that I really want to know who killed it. It really doesn't matter. It was probably somebody who left. I mean... Could have been Vacker. There it is. Found it. Bakar. Asmolcog. Got it. Yeah, that's generally your best bet. Everything else just kind of slows down training. And training is like one of the best, like especially for dwarves that want to master a skill, training is one of the best things they can do with their time. Like they just love it. Like genuinely. To the point where if I'll sometimes have dwarves where I sometimes will have dwarves where they'll just want to practice some martial arts. So I'll just let them, and they'll be depressed, and I'll just let them go train, and they will cease being depressed really quickly because they're training. Like, kind of like having a dwarf that's a gym rat. Just let them go to the gym for a bit, and they'll be happy, you know? Some people just want to go work out for 10 hours straight every day, you know? That's just how some people operate. Not how everybody operates, but that's how some people operate. If they start getting upset at not crafting an item, set them to off duty and let them go make an item and they'll be happy again. If they're upset at not being able to craft an item, they're probably not a good fit for the military. Is generally my take on that, for whatever that's worth. If they're just like, oh no, I want to craft an item, it's like, I just let them maybe put somebody else in the military then. Or at that point, you really do need to start scheduling the on again, off again kind of setup. I didn't realize how much space down here I made them smooth until like I started watching it. You know what's kind of mean? If I actually set up a bunch of cage traps, I could drop prisoners on the attackers with this. You know, I could like try and kill baddies with prisoners in cages. Huge space that? I guess I just also don't know that many smoothers. I normally have way more stone smoothers. From your keyboard, I think. Maybe you like fat thumbed it when you tried to hit space. Pretty messed up. Kind of is. It's more of just like a thought that I could do it, but I'm not going to do it. Mostly because it wouldn't actually demolish the cages. Kill the siege with the siege. Although if it is the enemy sieging, like there was one point where I kept getting sieged by elves in a fort that I had. And so what I did just for fun was I set up a bunch of cage traps and caught a whole bunch of goblins, set them all up to a lever, and then pulled the lever when the elves showed up and just let the goblins and the elves fight it out. They sorted it out. It was pretty good. The way I do? I mean, you don't need to. Like, you don't need to play the game I do. You can, there's so many ways to play this game. You can find a way that works for you and completely ignore how I play. And you will not be the worse off for it. You will do just fine that way. I like this comment that I got on my news video from today. You know, scientific advancement in the hands of humans has destroyed many lives and ecosystems, which I will never forgive, but it also gave us Slaves to Armagh, God of Blood, Chapter 2, Dwarf Fortress, and I will never forget that either. This game is an amazing consolation prize for having been born in this time in history. I am in awe. I don't even know how to respond to that. I just kind of want to like pin it or something. Like, that is a fantastic comment. Shoutouts to Hugo who left that comment. That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. What, the one that I responded to you, or did somebody else respond to that comment as well? You guys should just go play Adwords stories in my YouTube comments and see what happens. When I responded to you, gotcha. I should have so many comments to go through. So military for them. You have 2 beekeeper dwarves know their skills. I mean, I'd also just give them like stone engraving and let them have a field day. That's often what I do. Just be like, oh, you're a beekeeper? Okay, here, go etch drawings in the walls. Fuck off. That's often something that I'll do. Let me just sit here and wait for more dwarves to come back. Or my dwarves to come back, more specifically. You don't want a dwarf anymore. You usually make him a vampire and wall him into a lever room. I never intentionally make people into vampires, so whenever I end up with a vampire, it's always a pleasant surprise. I mean, I don't have that, but I do have a were lizard, which currently is actually just a there lizard, but you know, right there lizard even. You should be being more careful about the fort you went to. Go make a rock table. Why? Calm down there, honey. Are you telling me that you're a beekeeper? Well. I've like run out of bee puns. I'm sorry. Sorry-ish. Uh-oh. Elkbird is fighting? That's fine. A ton of elkbirds fighting down here. Are you hunting an elkbird? You are hunting an elkbird. Look at that. It was not to be. You know, you're probably right. So. It was definitely not. It was definitely to be or not to be. For a split second there, I thought somehow Stone got out and was attacking dwarves. Because I just saw the recruit is attacked by a monitor lizard, and I was like, oh no! It's fine. Speaking of, my lizard is now digging down. I mean, my stone is now digging down. Oh, man. Ugh. I forgot that I'm on a map with a friggin... I don't know why I forgot this. I forgot that I'm on a map with an aquifer. Let's dig around it. Or try to dig around it. Those are all elk birds. There are no elephants on this map. If it was an elephant, I'd be very excited. And I'd be trying to tame them. Okay. Should be good if we'd go that far. This is my little were creature. Digging away. It's hard to believe how bad that was. I mean, you got to comb through your options and comb up with something better. Ha! There you go. That's 2 B puns that you have not said in the last 10 minutes, meaning I've been here before. Somebody trying to leave still. Bone setting demonstration. We're doing a bone setting demonstration? Kind of cool, actually. Also got another dwarf meditating on desk. Also, how is our Anander doing? Our human scholar. Currently is constructing a building. I go learn something, did it? What? Go learn something. Silly human. Just remember, if you're making but bite marks instead of cutie marks, I'm not into that. But no, please buy me a drink first. Also, elephants are blue, right? Whereas elk birds are brown. Think. It's a quick way to discern whether or not a capital E is an elk bird or an elephant. I have no idea what to stream tomorrow. Or, like, what I even want to stream tomorrow. It's kind of a problem. I'm not gonna lie, chat. Pretty tired this evening. Kind of almost at the point of head empty. Might be time to swap games soon. I mean, what? 8 hours of Dwarfs, I'd say, at this point. Have I got any other games from that bundle you are interested in? Not that I'm interested in streaming. But yes. That's actually like the biggest problem that I have is like finding games that I'm interested in that I want to actually stream. Quite go far enough. But yes, tons of games from both of the bundles that I bought that I'm interested in. I have zero interest in streaming any of them. I'm also not taking requests for games to stream. Okay, there we go. Dug around it, finally. All right, there you go. Constructing a building. Building. Oh, I know what you're doing. You're finally making your bed. There you go. I can give this poor little dwarf off in his own fort. Bedroom. Stone, congrats. You have leveled up from living in a dirty pit as a poor, isolated were creature to living in a dirty pit with a bed in it. That's got to be like some sort of like slight improvement, right? It's got to be a slight improvement. Dwarf digs so slowly. Wait, hey. But no, we're gonna play more Pixel Dungeon this evening. As for what we're gonna play tomorrow, I have no idea. I'll figure that out when I wake up. God damn it! More damn stone. I swear to butts that this fucking aquifer is gonna be the death of me. It's like the materials that this dwarf actually has are super limited, so I kinda can't really afford screw up here. All right.
This is
Ah.
Sparta!
I have to go make dinner. Have a good rest of the stream.
Thanks for the $3. That is the first notification of money in 4 hours. Cheers, dude. Jack, can I get a round of beers? Or Space Pirate keeping this stream funded one bit at a time. Where did stone go? There you are. I don't know why, but I always read carved downward staircase as coward staircase. Like my brain like puts downward and carve into one word for some reason. Never quite figured out why. Okay. All traveling. Starting to get worried. They should have been back by now. You cowardly staircase? Exactly. It's a coward staircase. I'm sorry. Why is there a criminal pale hunter in my basement? Exactly. I don't think anything in my fortress is public. There's just a... There they are, they're back. All right, let's see how this went. The Crimson Pulley attacked the Devil of Ghouls at the Hate of Praises at Strapped Scorpion. The Dwarf Studier Copper Renter led the attack, and the defenders were led by the Goblin Niglissu Pink Evil. It's a funny name. Niglissu Pink Evil outmatched Studier. Oh, great. With a cunning plan, and the defenders had a strong positional advantage. That's not good. Well, so far it's been a lot of yellow text, which isn't bad, not good. That's bad. That's a permanent injury against Cole Rockweek's nose, which was torn off. I think that we must have vengeance for Cole Rockweek's nose. What do you think, chat? Yellow basically is just like neutral outcome, so it's not bad, it's not good. All right. So we attacked them. They had a strong advantage. One of my dwarves lost a nose. That could have gone worse. That could have gone a lot worse. A lot worse. He's lucky he only lost a nose. Yeah, exactly. That goblin went, got your nose! He goes, oh god, he's got a nose! Get on the ground, he's got a nose! He's lucky he only lost a nose? I read that as he's lucky he only lost one nose. I was like, are you suggesting you have two noses? Or like half of a nose, like one nostril? Okay, he's just doing his best Voldemort impression now. It's just like, it's to make him look scarier, you know? Let's go attack these guys. Except we're going to attempt to raise. I'm not going to loot items, and I'm not going to steal livestock. So we're attacking a goblin fortress that has thousands of trolls in it. Quite literally thousands, and I'm sending like 3 of my squads. So we're sending 29 dwarves to go fight with them. So here's hoping they can be successful. So best of luck, dwarves. Chat, can I get a big round of beers for those dwarves going off to battle? I think that they deserve it, most likely. So we can all go get kidnapped again, basically. Stone. Oh, come on. Alright, that's it. I give up. Just gonna dig down right here. Going to dig down to right here. And that's going to be where Stone's going to live, right here. You know what's weird? Is every time I look at my Steam library and I realize that I own this shit, I want to say I got it for like $1 at some point. Also that they made this video game. Also that this video game is probably to thank for the existence of the modern XCOM games. Like, if they didn't make this shit, they probably wouldn't have made XCOM. Because they announced this shit at an E3. It was like E3 2010 or something. And everybody was like, what the fuck? Why are you making some garbage, like, XCOM FPS? And then they made it into a third-person shooter for some reason. And then announced and released actual XCOM, like, a year... Or, like, announced actual XCOM, like, within a year. And there's a lot of industry speculation that they weren't going to make XCOM, but then decided to because the response was so negative to that. Such a weird game. You got it free from Humble? Oh, really? Stone, I think we're going to get you to make a little art gallery down here. You're going to dig down here, and we're just going to get you to engrave stuff. I'm sorry, what? Merchant was found... Okay, well, I mean... That's not too surprising. Is it really bad? Yes. It's just a very poorly balanced, repetitive, boring game. Like... XCOM declassified. Video game. I mean, I know that Metacritic is not very good to go by, but it has a 66% positive rating on Metacritic, which is real bad. And the user score is worse. It was the 47th most discussed game in the year 2013. Yeah, the meta score is 66 and the user score is 5.5. For like $5. Yeah, that checks out. It's not even really an XCOM game. It's more like they tried to make retro futuristic Gears of War with an XCOM theme and some XCOM lore. That kind of rhymes nice. Retro futuristic Gears of War with an XCOM theme and whatnot. I think it's time for my last cup of coffee of the day. I need it. A little loopy. And then tomorrow is my Friday. It's my last stream of the week. And then we go back to the long weekend again. I do hope that the long streams are still doing all right for you guys. I know that some of you miss me when I'm gone, but it is cool to be able to do other things for YouTube and such. I'm going to be working on that Odd Realm video and getting that done. I'm going to try and have that out on Monday, actually. That's what I'm aiming for. The audio is already available up on the Patreon, but going to try and get that Odd Realm video done by Monday. That's kind of my goal for the weekend. Maybe try and get like 1 or 2 other smaller videos out that don't take as long. You know, is the stone cave marked in any way? What do you mean? What do you mean by marked? Like, as in, do I know where it is in relation to other things? Yeah. I'm not going to accidentally dig into it if that's what you're asking. So up on the surface, this right here is the entrance to where you were. This little sealed off wood hatch goes down to this door, which is then locked, and you live behind it down here. Statue or something? Esm stone. Statue. Rock. Well, yeah, we'll make it out of rock. One. You have a preferred type of rock? We got conglomerate, diorite, gabbro, gneiss, granite, orthoclase, quartzite, rutile. Or what we has. Preference? Annie's good. Go with orthoclase. Nice yellow sheen to it. Stone is stone? Yes. This is going to be your little living space. We'll have a little dining room, a little bedroom. We'll have to give you a little mason shop down here. And you can start digging, and you're going to go start engraving. I just want this dwarf to be happy, you know? Always end up feeling real bad for dwarves that get stuck like this. Another thing that we can do with some trickery is I could make a shaft up to the surface so that some sunlight comes in, and then we can drop an anvil down for you. You can start making your own metals. I'm kind of tempted to give you a little magma forge, actually. Like, dig all the way down. Not even that far. You can absolutely do that. But I guess we should specify the image. Historical figure. Esm. Oh, there you go. I mean, after all, you might be a were creature, but I would say that you voluntarily went into the hole. Like, you didn't kill anybody or hurt anybody or even attack anybody. You didn't even get the opportunity to attack anybody. You just went straight down into the hole. Sealed you off. Possibly one of the easiest were creatures I've ever had to deal with. No weird, tricky locking things away. It was just a situation happened and you locked yourself away. Sad, but understandable, I would say. Really hope that those squads come back after a victory. I'll be kind of sad if they don't. Bone Doctor. Legendary Bone Doctor. Deller Bimrek. Wow. How often do you see a legendary doctor? How old are you? 120. A real doctor. A real doctor. Competent persuader as well. You're also an adequate cheesemaker. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong dwarf. This one. Legendary Bone Doctor, Dabbling Organizer, Dabbling Persuader, Adept Negotiator, Judge of Intent, Counselor. Oh, you're a great counselor. And a Novice Teacher. Damn. You know, Sling Church, that is a great last name. Deller, I think that you're getting the name Axon. Because she is very much the kind of dwarf that Axon always wants. Feels fondness in speaking with an acquaintance. She has a very high-pitched voice and a prominent chin. Her hair is clean-shaven and her lips are thick. Her ears have nearly fused lobes. She personally finds the pursuit of knowledge to be of a waste of effort, and finds those that deny their impulses somewhat stiff, and dreams of mastering a skill. Is very trusting and finds helping others emotionally rewarding, and doesn't try to get things done perfectly. Is quite ambitious and is moved by art and natural beauty, and is troubled by this, and she dislikes the natural world. Sometimes acts with little determination and confidence, and shakes her finger up and down when she's trying to remember something, like this. God damn it. She inhales sharply when she's angry, and she needs alcohol to get through the working day. Likes pig iron, gray chalice stoning, gems and maces, and rings and alpacas for their jutting teeth, and when possible prefers to consume split beer, and absolutely hates large roaches. Has a great kinesthetic sense. Is most qualified to be the chief medical dwarf. This is true. Yeah, absolutely is, actually. I mean, Stinthad is great and all, but, like, actually, I do wonder if they're more qualified than Stinthad. According to this, Stinthad is more just because of the diagnostic skills higher, but I think that Axon will make an excellent secondary. Not the number one doctor, but definitely up there. Yeah, Deller's had more practice diagnosing. Yeah. Or has had less practice diagnosing. Just really good bone doctor for some reason. Oh, well. It's got to be that way. It's that time. Let's actually make 200 charcoal, just queue up a second job. And lead. Make lead crafts. Just lead crafts. Just make me a bunch of lead crafts. Actually, let's do lead craft 100. Gonna run out of charcoal eventually. I'm literally just hoping and waiting for a siege. I just want to test this fucking thing. Don't even know if it's gonna work. I assume it's going to work because I've set it up in a way that would work. I only get to fire one. Hold on. After a polite discussion with local rivals, Stodier has claimed the position of the Lord of the Sick Midnight. I'm gonna be completely honest. I have no idea what that means. I mean, I know what the Lord is, but I'm not the Sick Midnight, so I don't know why they're telling me this. Yeah. How is that relevant to me? Is that somebody who happens to be on the map? Nope. I don't know. Interesting. I mean, round of beers for the Sick Midnight getting a new Lord, I guess? Good for him? Yay? I suppose. Okay, so you've reloaded your save and nobody can access your trade depot, which is not blocked as cats and other animals can walk past it. It sounds like you've missed something. Oh, hey. I see you just returned. All right. Did I siege the wrong thing? Oh. Now, I know who the Sick Midnight is now, chat. So the Sick Midnight are the guys that we just attacked. The Crimson Pulley attacked the Sick Midnight of the Hate of Praises at Dreadful Hobble. The Dwarf English Gorge Block led the attack, and the defenders were led by the Goblin Nako. The Dwarf English Gorge Block outmatched the Goblin Nako, malign tongues, with a cunning plan, and the attackers had a strong positional advantage in Dreadful Hobble. Dreadful Hobble sounds, when I say it fast enough, sounds like I'm saying falafel, and I don't know why, but I find that funny to me. The Goblin Strodono, felled weakness, left lower arm was smashed by the Dwarf Ast. That's good. And Strato, felled weakness, was struck down. Nako, malign tongues, was also struck down by the Dwarf Titan. Shoutouts to Titan. Looks like a star legend god struck down the Goblin Osun, Wraith Frill, in Dreadful Hobble. Oh no. Nil Bloodcat, the Lavender Bulbs of Tin, was struck down by a troll in Blockaded Sea. Chat, can I get some Fs for our poor Bloodcat, who we uncaptured today and then got struck down. Gorge Block was struck down. Vakar was struck down. Gosh. Can we please stop this already? What? Boy. So you know how I just unimprisoned everybody? Yeah, well, fuck. Yeah, that's one way to put it. We just got imprisoned again. So one dude returned. So the population of this was 60. Or was 30 before. The population is now 60. Because they stole about 30 of my dwarves. No, only one of them died. Literally only Bloodcat died. Every single one of the rest of my dwarves was kidnapped. Star Legend God, Aquafunkalistic Bootywap, Lizard Tamer. Purple equals captured or dead, yes. Brilliant. Sad. The hard knock life for dwarfs. That's bad. Annoying, yeah. Bad. Oh, well. I was waiting for that to finish. You know what, chat? I think that's it for Dwarf Fortress today. We'll fix that fuck up on another day. Hey, vey. God. I think we're gonna play some Pixel Dungeon, unless like people all desperately want to see something else. Pixel Dungeon seems like the right level of chill, but also fun and hard. Which is on PC, Shattered Pixel Dungeon specifically. Just let the game finish saving, and then we will minimize her. And set it up and set up the next round. If anybody just wants to watch DF, if you don't like me or anything and you don't want to watch me play other games, which is fine, you can go over to the YouTube channel, watch more Dwarf Fortress related things, or you could go watch Tekud, who's on right now, who's cool. He's building a fortress called Steelwalled. That's his stream right there. If you're just looking for Dwarfy related things, but we are done with dwarfs for the day. And we'll probably play more dwarves tomorrow, realistically. I don't know I didn't know what I was going to do this morning, but we'll do other things. You have had a chance to finish my YouTube video on it. I mean, I put up 2, I think. But we're going to go play some more Shattered Pixel Dungeon. Plan for the evening. Want to get a little further in. Learning. We'll do a couple runs of this until we hit about, I don't know, 11 and a half hours. Or so. Because we're currently 10 hours into the stream. Whoa, that's loud. We're currently about 10 hours into the stream. So we'll do like 2 or 3 hours of this, give or take. That is the slide.